Primaris Librarian, welcome. And thank you so much for joining the Discord, brother. Really cool. It's a great month, man. I got a feeling. Woo-hoo. I think that August is going to be a great month to get some of these minis painted. Hey, P3ter. How's it going, Peter? Happy Saturday to all of you. So I'm working on some Dark Angels in Mark 6 armor. I've got 6 already done. This Sergeant was looking not quite Dark Angels-y. I've had a couple comments saying that there was no Legion like heraldry or symbolism on him, so I decided to give him a little bit of a razzle dazzle with some checkerboard patterns on his power fist. I think he looks really cool now. Everybody else has the Dark Angels transfer. Some of them even have the 6-pointed star free-handed on them, or something else, like I think I did a key design on one of them. But yeah, we're just working on getting this unit painted so that I can sell it and make lots of money on eBay. Quick question on the Discord, how and where do I share minis for the Great Crusade? Oh, okay, yeah. So if you guys want to join the Great Crusade, it is our 4-month-long project to paint up as much in our backlogs as we can. And to join, all you have to do is go to the channel that's labeled Great Crusade 2025. I put 4 months in there, May, June, July, and August. At the top, I pinned a little calendar that I had made, little free digital tracker to help you keep track of your time and what you're working on. And then if you finish whatever you finish between May and August, all you have to do is go to the channel that is labeled 5,000 minis, I think. It's in the Great Crusade category. So just look for the Great Crusade 2025 category, and then you can check out the different announcements on how to swear oaths of moment. If you want to tackle something during the week, then it's a great way to get some models painted, especially if you have something in your backlog that's been niggling at you and something you really want to get done, but you just haven't had the impetus to do it. Just swear an oath of moments. You know what? This is going to be the week I do it. And then if you do finish what you swear to do, then it's going to make your miniatures count as like not just 1 miniature, but maybe 3, possibly even 10, if you decide to do like a tank or a monster. Anyways, if you're not in the Discord, please join the Discord so you can take part in the Great Crusade. I tabulated the numbers, and we're just shy of 2,000, and 2,000 painted miniatures, or 2,000 points of painted miniatures. Whereas before, I'm just really pleased that we're getting miniatures painted, whereas before they would have just been unpainted, possibly never painted. You know how things end up in your pile of shame, and then that new mini excitement kind of wears off, and then you're stuck with a box that you have to build and paint, and sometimes that momentum just dies. So we want to kickstart it. We want to get it painted, because you bought it for a reason, so it's time to get painting, and then you're gonna feel so much better once it's painted, because the high of buying a miniature, buying a box of miniatures, it's nothing compared to the happiness. It's kind of like the artificial high of something versus like true happiness and contentment and peace of seeing the miniatures painted and by you. So yeah, definitely check it out. Hey, Nick the Salamander, welcome. What chapter are these guys? These guys are 30K, Warhammer 30K Mark 6 Dark Angels. They are using the old Dark Angels Legion heraldry and iconography from the Dark Angels transfer sheet, which looks like this. It's got a bunch of different symbols on it. So tanks count as more. Nick the Salamander, if you want to, uh, tanks will only count as one if you just paint it and post it. But if you make a tank your, or like any vehicle or terrain piece, if you make an oath of moment for them, then you will, then you finish painting it, then it will count as like 10, 5 or 10, I don't remember. If you check out the announcements, it'll show how much it counts as. But that's a fun way to kind of skyrocket our numbers up. So anything you paint between now or between May 1st, even if you want to go back and look at some things that you were working on and stuff that you painted up for the summer, you can put pictures in our 5,000 minis channel, and then we'll count it towards the Great Crusade. Right now, our Great Crusade is sitting at, I think it's something like 1945 out of 5,000. So like, it would be great if we got 5,000 painted minis, but I'm just so stoked that people have like painted almost whole armies worth of miniatures during this challenge. It's just really fun. I painted the same, I painted some stuff in the last 4 months. Do I just send it there? Yeah, just, you could send it there. Put it in the 5,000 minis, just mention when you painted it, and we'll count it towards the Crusade. If I use hashtag for the Great Crusade, it will count, or I need to use the Discord? No, just, you know what, you don't need to use the Discord. It will help me to keep track of it though. So if you do decide to just hashtag it, then where are you going to be posting it to? Twitter or to YouTube or to Instagram? Because then I can know that I have to follow you so that I can keep track of your whatever you're working on. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's so easy for me to just like log into my Discord and see who has updated who's posted something on the 5,000 minis Discord channel. But yeah, by all means, if you just want to use Twitter or anything else, just let me know. My lady boss is texting me saying that she needs some help upstairs with the babies. So I'm going to leave the All right, boys and girls, I am back. Thank you for your patience. Sometimes when man, it's hard in the middle of the night. This is like my only time to paint, and this is also just so happens to be the only time that my daughters just are having a hard time staying down at night. They have nightmares and they wake up and it's rough for everybody. So I apologize for the wait. Thank you for your patience. But this is the goal, you know. The goal is that I want to be a full-time YouTuber. I want to make enough money painting miniatures, sharing what I know, building a community of people that enjoy the hobby and enjoy celebrating each other in it. And it's a long, slow road to get there. But if you want to support me in my journey, then a super thanks or a super chat is always welcome. More than that, though, what I would love is if you become a channel member, and you can get access to all sorts of great digital content. Night Lords are the best. Lightning bolts. Do you have Night Lords? I love my Night Lords. I might paint one up on this stream. I've got the Legionnaires kill team ready to go. Let's do a checkerboard. Let me just get some red on this bolter first. But yeah, if you become a channel member, you also get access to channel member only posts, polls, and sometimes I'll just straight up like ask in the middle of a live stream like this for my channel members to make a decision and kind of guide the content. You can be the director. You can help shape what this show is going to be like. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. It's a lot of fun painting miniatures. This is what I would love to do with the rest of my life. Okay, you know, I haven't done a checker pattern on the backpack yet. That might be something. I'm kind of hesitant to do one like how I did this 6-pointed star in the front here, because if I do a checkerboard pattern up the shoulder pad, then I don't know, it might run into the winged sword, and I kind of want to leave that. It's such a cool looking icon. That kill team for the Night Lords was so it was so popular that scalpers would have it going on eBay for like over $100 for the box. Everybody was trying to get their hands on it. It's like, of course everybody loves it. It's your chance to build the characters from the books. I really want to go back and read it again. The Night Lord's Omnibus was like the first piece of fiction that I read getting back into the hobby. And even more than the Horus Heresy, what's usually considered like the best books of the series is all the books at the front, the 5 in the front, all the way up to Flight of the Eisenstein. But I remember getting into the Night Lord's Omnibus and just thinking like, this is fantastic. This is peak writing right here. The answer is always more. Daka! Wah! Shh, don't wake up my girls. I'll kill you. It takes so long. It takes so long to get them back down to sleep. Sometimes, I doze off, I fall asleep in there, even though I'm thinking like, oh, I gotta get back downstairs. Live stream still going. Heresy Era, Dark Angels, Warp, Enigma. come in. If you want to check out the brushes I'm using, they are golden maple brushes. I linked them in the video description. They are terrific for doing detail work. This 2/0 brush is, it's like my go-to brush now. In fact, I should probably stop using it. I've got so many other like surfaces that I could be painting with these other brushes. So let's give the 2/0 a rest, and let's move on to a size 2. Nice, perfectly respectable base coat brush, highlight brush. First thing you want to do is wet that sucker. You don't want to like snap or break the bristles if you haven't used them for a while. Just get them a little damp. What time is it in the States now? It is 3:41 for me. 3:41 a.m. Nick the Salamander, where are you? Are you close to the Midwest? Are you near me? Or the West Coast, rather? I have a pretty good relationship with my LGS, and they will hold pretty much whatever kit that comes out for me. Nice. I don't have to worry about fighting for a pre-order on the GW site. That is a good relationship to have. Idaho-ish. Huel, hello. Warp Enigma in Norway. Nice. Yep, Silly Lung, I'm right there with you. I'm up in the Bay Area. Marvelous 10A. All right, enough silliness. Let's get back to it. Kind of massaged my bristles for my brush. Everybody's happy. Got my cup of coffee here. Silly Lung, you're in San Francisco? Oh my gosh, we could hang out. Go get some In-N-Out burger. I'm actually in well, I was in San Mateo for a little while, but I'm a little bit more south now. Not as far as San Jose, but my in-laws are just a little bit past Redwood City, down from San Francisco. All right, now this is my favorite part of doing these Mark 6 helmets now. I use Corax White, which a lot of people poo-poo Corax White, and I used to really hate Games Workshop's old white scar paint. It's like the bane of my existence. In fact, I think it might be my most hated Citadel paint. But Corax White is it's done a lot to repair that repair that opinion I have. Look at that. You just do a little dot with a tiny detail brush, and it adds so much. A lot of people say, oh, just paint the whole thing white and then do a contrast paint over it. But I mean, look at that. Look at that. He's looking at you. No matter which way I turn him, he's looking at you. I work graveyards. What is everyone else excuse to be up so late? Because this is the only time in the day I can paint. Nice models, man. I sadly have to go. Okay, thanks, Warp Enigma. Take care. See you later. Have a good one. How many of these do you usually make during stream? It depends on how much my girls are waking up. Hell yeah, I'm down to get some burgers sometime. Do you play Kill Team? I don't play anything. I play being a dad, and that means I can paint in the spare hours when my girls are sleeping. And my son. My girls and my boy are sleeping. Thank you, Crimson. Wah! So yeah, I don't really get to play anything, but I've been painting since I was a boy, and it's like a Tobuscus voice. Since I was a boy, I've been painting these miniatures. Not these. I would really be old. Corax White was terrible for me. Then I accidentally left it open and brought it back from the dead with some alcohol. Now it works perfectly. That is some warp sorcery. I totally understand. Being a parent is a full-time job. Yep. That's why I'm telling you guys, my goal in this YouTube game is to be able to get more channel members, get more people watching the videos so I can make a full-time income on it. Then I can just hang out with you guys and paint and live that influencer life. So that's the dream. We're chasing it, boys and girls. If you guys enjoy my content and you want to help me get there, help me succeed, then I got to make this red band a little bit fatter. Then becoming a channel member, supporting me that way would be greatly appreciated. Or just, if you want to send a super chat, or just, you know, share, like, comment, repost my content, all that stuff. I greatly appreciate it. It's my journey to become a full-time YouTuber and to do this full-time. Nick the Salamander, thank you for gifting a membership. Kenneth, who's hanging out in the chat, you got to thank Nick the Salamander for gifting you a membership to the exclusive Inner Circle. Maybe that's what I should call it. I've been playing Magic the Gathering since '94 when I was 9 years old, but got into 40K hobby in December 2019. Crazy time. But that means that you've been in the hobby for a little while. You must have some minis that you want to paint, Silly Lung. Nick, that's so awesome. Thank you, brother. You're like such a huge supporter of my channel. You, the one from the past, the Austin coming in the other week when it was his birthday and gifting like 20 memberships to complete random strangers. You guys are, you guys like help me find the energy to get back to the table after my girls are screaming their heads off all night. So thank you, Nick. Coming in with the membership, supporting my dreams. I was into Magic the Gathering for a little while. I couldn't keep up with it, like the game itself. I know Dicey Guy is a huge Magic guy, though. He's a really knowledgeable. I think that was it. I couldn't keep up with it. Like there was no hobby side of the collecting of Magic cards. It was like just a bigger and bigger investment, and I didn't have the resources at the time. I was just a little kid walking around with my binder full of Magic cards. I think too I got trounced at like a local tournament or something, and I was like, I can't. I'm gonna go paint little plastic men. All right. Did I post my models in the right channel for the Slay the Great? I think you did, yeah. I think you did. Why the checker pattern, Dusty? Well, if you follow the Space Marine chapters, like each of the chapters of Space Marines have their own kind of identity, their own thing that makes them like special, and design-wise, they have like their own aesthetics. And the Dark Angels in Warhammer 40K even, but especially in Warhammer 30K, the different game systems, they were very heavily into the checker pattern. They have like designs all over their armor of it. So I'm not sure if anybody has a better explanation on why Dark Angels have checker patterns, because when I first got into Warhammer back in the early 90s, I remember the Dark Angels thing was kind of like that they were really drawn from aesthetically the Native Americans. There was like lots of feathers, feather fetishes, kind of like how the Raven Guard have all the fetishes now. It used to be Dark Angels. They had the winged helmets. They had like just random feathers hanging off of their armor. and I don't know, for some reason I thought it was very like very much like the Native American aesthetic. And then they fully got rid of that, and then they went with the knightly. They're all like knights from Camelot. That was their whole vibe after that. Took a break from summer 2021 to the beginning of 23 because I lost like 5,000 points. Oh no, in the Caldor wildfire. That sucks. Just put my life seat. Oh, silly lung. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That Caldor wildfire. I was working at FedEx at the time, and it was like no joke, guys. Every day I would like the skies would be choked with like ash. It would like burn to go outside. They told us we had to wear N95 masks because of just how bad it was. All right, my idea is that I'm gonna do all the base coats for these guys, and then I'm gonna go and do the silver chipping. Like these guys have silver chipping on their armor. That's also when I'm gonna do the transfers on these guys. So first things first, gotta get their base coats down, and then we'll move on to the weathering stuff. Man, I am so sorry to hear that. My wife's father is really into homesteading, and he always says he wants, like, he doesn't care about having a house. He just wants to have like a plot of land that he could build on, like a homesteading setup. So we've been looking for places like in Grass Valley and more rural areas with lots of farmland and lots of acreage, but haven't found anything yet. And it's funny because the older you get, that lifestyle, the harder it gets, you know? So I don't know if we're realistically going to be able to get him set up with anything. It's hard too if you're used to the creature comforts and you don't really see the need to go and have that kind of a life. It's a rough life. And I mean like rough physically, I imagine. Just because of all the work, you have to be so self-reliant and sustainable. And just jabbering away painting these dark angels. I see the chat's going up, so I will check it out in just a second. Kind of on a roll though. You guys ever notice when you get painting, at some point it's like your body gets into this like hyper focused zone. I just want to paint this eyeball dot, eye lens dot. Yeah, look at that. Got it on one side. We went to a ramen place last night. It was so good. Things were hard for a little bit, but I'm getting back on my feet. Good. I got a crappy studio apartment and job I like with bosses that I love. That's the best thing to have. Dusty, I used to paint Warhammer figures, but I can't paint tiny things so good because my hands are shaky. Yep, I'm in the zone. Dusty, I don't know if it's going to inspire you to pick up the brush again, but I find that when my hands shake or when I'm whenever I talk to somebody who's dealing with that, but they still want to paint Warhammer, the best thing to do is get a painting handle. And I'll tell you my exact setup right here is I've got this painting handle that my fingers can easily wrap around. It's a Games Workshop product, but I don't mind it. You can also get an empty paint pot like this, just something your fingers will wrap around. It could be like a prescription pill bottle. You could save yourself the money, or you can go out and get like a professional painting handle. Then when you're painting, you take your two wrists and you brace them, and then you take your forearms and you brace them at the edge. Check out my pineapple shorts. At the edge of your table. So you're braced here, and you're also braced here at the wrists. And then all you're doing with the hands is like you're loosely holding. I found out when, like before I used the paint handle, I would hold my Night Goblin's bases like this, and it totally messed up some nerves back here. I'm pretty sure because I batch painted like 100 Night Goblins, and they're on tiny little 20mm square bases, and I think it messed up my fingers, like to the point where I can't move them as well as I used to. So wrapping them though around a handle is easy, so easy, and then you're just putting like the barest amount of pressure. Then you lock in with your forearms, and then you can just gently hold your paintbrush and your miniature, and then this kind of stabilizes it. You can even rest your hand on the table, brace your painting handle on the table, and then all you're really doing, like with your wrists locked in like that, is using your fingers to do the painting. So even if I have shaking hands, I'm locked in down here, I'm locked in at my wrists, and then everything is comfortably resting against each other, so I can just paint the detail that I want to. It's a little tip. All right, so these 6 are done. These 2 need weathering, chipping, basing, and transfers. I've got 2 more guys. We're doing it, everybody. We're gonna finish this squad tonight before my girls wake up, or my wife. They say that I need to massage her some more. Then we're gonna list it on eBay and make big money. Oh, Grass Valley is an amazing place. I was in Grizzly Flats. Okay, I just put in like 40 grand in the property. Oh man. Oh, that's rough, man. A bunch of chickens, some ducks, 2 goats. That's so sad. I'm so sorry, dude. But I use wine corks and blue tack. Bro, if you look at my old videos, wine corks and blue tack was my go-to for a painting handle for years. In fact, I think I still have the piece of cork that I used. And I have like packets of blue tack all around. Because I was like, I'm not going to spend money on something that I can just cobble together for a fraction. Gotta save my money for actual miniatures. All right, if you're painting, it doesn't matter what you're painting, what colors. If you're working on a Mark 6, let me tell you the fastest way to batch paint these bad boys is after you finish first armor go around. So in this case, black, I highlighted all the black. I'm doing the Lead Belcher Silver Metallics. I started with the gun, the bolt rifle, and then I jumped to the shoulder harness or the chest harness here. I hit the 2 bolts on the side of the helmet, and I hit the center of the backpack grill, flip over to the back, hit the turbines, or whatever you call these things. And the side vents. Looks like I already got the holster for the pistol. Reload the paint. And then end up with the studs. The bonding studs on the armor. When you're doing bonding studs, what I do is I just hold it at a certain angle, and then I let my brush go and cover every part of the stud that's looking at me that I can see. And then I just turn it to a second angle, because you imagine how you're going to be holding, picking up, and moving these miniatures around. You don't have to paint every single angle of the studs. You just want to hit the areas of the studs that you can see that are facing you, because you're going to be the one that's manipulating them, holding it and moving it around. It looks like this one has something thing there, and like a buckle thing here. That's it. Easy peasy. Everything's connected, right? You start at the tip of the bayonet, work your way up the gun, chest harness, grill, vents, exhaust ports, end up at the studs. You get the rhythm and the feeling in your muscle memory, and it all of a sudden is like clockwork. You're in the zone. My channel used to be about, this is how you paint whatever, whatever. But slowly over the years, it's kind of evolved into a channel for painting quickly to a high, at least in my opinion, a high tabletop standard. It's not, may not, I love painting. I love the feeling of painting and getting something done and being artistic, engaging in a hobby that has a good community. Let's do another checker pattern. This time we'll cover up the here. Hey Warboss, do you think it would be possible to convert a 20-man Mark 6 squad into a good proxy squad for a 20-man Crusader squad? Bare head, no pauldrons on the scouts to distinguish them. Yep. Yep, you would have to do bare heads for the scouts. If you could get the neophyte heads, that would be better. Yeah, 20-man Mark 6 squad into a 20-man Crusader squad. You could do it, definitely, for sure. Have you ever used any masking chipping liquid? If so, which do you think was the best? I really liked Vallejo's. I used it to do some chipping on some, what was it? Might have been Death Guard in the past. And it came in this green bottle. I didn't understand what it was for, how to use it. And then I watched some videos on YouTube and I was like amazed. So I tried it out and the results were very good. So Vallejo chipping, or masking, not masking, chipping medium, that's what it's called. Chipping medium. Highly recommend. I used to like doing batch painting, assembly line style, just one thing at a time. So for example, the holster, I would do the holster, then I'd put it down. Then I do the holster on this guy, I put it down, just go down the squad, boom, 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 small little victories, not lots of steps, you know what I mean? Because once you get to multiple steps, your brain has to remember them all the way down the line. If you just do one step, holster, then also don't forget any other straps like this gun strap, you're gonna have to paint that. I'm thinking about using some on the squid buggy I picked up today. Yeah, do it. Trom, Lynx Lord, welcome, welcome. Dicey Guy. I was just talking about you, Dicey Guy. Somebody was mentioning that they were into magic, or they had been into magic. And I was like, I know Dicey Guy is the Magic King. He's the king of magic. He's a wizard. He's a wizard because he's managed to find like a piece of heavenly property, heaven on earth, and be able to live there with a wonderful, beautiful looking family. Chickens, amazing views. This is my last guy, so I think if I was batch painting, I would probably just do like the gun and then move on to the next guy and do just the gun all the way down the squad. But I've kind of been doing it like piecemeal. This squad was not my ideal batch paint experience, but I'm getting it done, so that's all that matters, right? Getting it painted, it's going to be painted, it's going to look awesome. That's all that matters. It's interesting, Primaris Librarian. The IT support guy. Yep, one at a time, silly lung for the fancy ones. That works for me too. Yep. No wrong way to batch paint. All right, channel members, where am I going to put this last checkerboard? What do you think? While I do his gun. Left leg, right leg, front, side. I think I even did one on an elbow pad. Let me know. I'm sending out a call, SOS, to all my channel members out there in the chat. I do the same. I only paint one at a time. We're getting the names and stories. Yep. Black out this area just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna try to dot this eye with my honkin' number 2 pen, not pencil, my number 2 paintbrush. Smooth. Satisfactory. Paint-wise, great. Health-wise, not too good. Paint-wise, great. Health-wise, not too good. I'm sorry, Lynx Lord. Lynx Lord is a treasure trove of lore. I'm always learning something when Link's Lord is in the chat. Right, we're gonna dot this eyeball. Bonjour. The new character, Icon of the Storm, Icon of the Sea, or the new, I don't even know her name, Mahalia, Moana. All right, we're looking good. We're moving on. I'm gonna do some leather effects. Oh, I didn't even do this, guys. Oh boy, see, that's what happens. Oracle of the Deep. Ah, yeah, right on. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. It's really a 40K too. Should write for Black Library. Guys, I'm really stoked. I really didn't think I would get this far tonight. You all have inspired me to finish this. All right, so yeah, what did I say? The next big step was chipping. I'm just going to be using my, not going to be using a golden maple paintbrush. I'm going to be using a sort of a janky Vallejo /0. So this is a really fine one, but over it's gotten pretty bad, pretty frayed. For our purposes, though, that's okay. Just do some random chippage, chipping. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I always tell my wife, like, don't send me back to the salt mines of blue collar work just yet. I can do it. I can make it work. It's a bummer this takes so long. I feel like I'm flying with all these other steps, and then I get to this part where I have to just do some light chipping effects, and I feel like it really slows down. But it's okay. We're moving. We're cranking along. This brush might not be the best. Oh, what do you guys think of the new terminus decree? Ooh, that's a spicy topic. Storm leather is my favorite leather colors. Yep. Do you have an estimate of how far the Crusade we have, by the way? Yes, I do, Lynx Lord. I crunched the numbers last night, and we are at, I think, like 1945 out of 5,000. So it's not anywhere close to finishing, and I think I'm okay with how far we've gotten, because when you think about it, that's a lot of miniatures painted. It's not exactly like 19 or 1,945. That's what I meant. Did I say 19,000? I meant I counted it, and it's like 1945 out of 5,000, which is not at all bad. So if you are working on anything, if you're watching this live stream right now, you're working on something, you're painting up an army, or even just a single figure, and you want to help our worldwide goal of hitting 5,000, the equivalent of 5,000 painted miniatures. I say that because if you do any oaths of moment, you can bump up the points that each miniature is worth. For example, there's an oath of moment called, is it Slay the Gray? There's one where it's like if you paint up more than 5 miniatures, then each miniature will count as 3. So if I said I'm going to finish this unit of Dark Angels tonight, there's 10 of them here, and if I finish before midnight on Saturday night, then instead of being worth 1 point each, they would all be worth 3 points each, and that's the kind of like gaming the system that I intended for everyone to be using, but I think it was just too much to ask for people to continue painting unless they're really working on an army, which is totally cool. And that's what the hobby is all about, you know, like you get motivated, you buy a box for a new army, or you get into a new faction or anything, or maybe it's even just like a character, and you are super motivated to paint it. And after that, it's like, okay, I'm done for a little bit. And you go off and do something else. It's the thing about hobby, like, it's always going to be here. It's not like a thing where there's a portal that closes and you can't enjoy Warhammer anymore after a certain point. Unless your wife says no. It's like, I just want to get to the heraldry. Oh, I hear my baby screaming. I will be right back, players. Grab a nice warm drink and do what you got to do, and hopefully cross your fingers. Hopefully I can put her down and be right back. Yeah, I think I'm good. I always have to listen at the foot of the stairs. It's funny. Usually I'm exhausted at this point. It's what time is it? 4:21 in the a.m. I'm usually like really tired. At this point, I probably like put down my daughter, tried to put her back to bed like 3 or 4 times, and just keeps waking up and isn't able to sleep. And by the time I drag my butt down here, I'm like too tired to even do a live stream or to even sit at the table and paint. But I found that since I've been drinking Danger coffee, I feel like so energized to go. It's funny, it's not like a jittery energy, which I get when I drink Red Bull. I don't know. It's like a focused, like hyper focus. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that before, but I just joined their affiliate program, so I'm going to be probably promoting them a lot more, which is okay because my wife and I drink so much of it. It's really helped us out. So yeah, check it out. Danger Coffee. Take the mold out of your coffee. Drink good coffee. Pork chop, thank you. Brushes have the circle of life. Oh yeah. Well, it's also in the summer vacation, so many have been doing other stuff. That's true. Yep. Then the wife gets the are these posts or pre-heresy? Jack, these are meant to be pre-heresy because the transfers. I'm using the old school Dark Angels Legion transfers. And so they're meant to be pre-heresy, but you know, Dark Angels, they're so what's the word? Esoteric, so weird that you can really make them pre or post heresy. All right, I'm going to show you guys how I do my checkerboard pattern. If you've seen this already, thank you for bearing with me. With anything in this hobby, it's just practice. You know, practice makes. What's the word? Practice makes perfectly adequate. Sometimes my eyes go buggy when I'm painting these, and I'm like, I miss the box I'm supposed to get. So I found that the best way to not go screwy is to do them one column at a time. So that's what I'm going to do. One column at a time, every other. And you're going to make mistakes, and that's totally fine. Okay, baby screening again. I'm going to try to see if I can head up there and calm her down before she wakes up the house. I'll be right back. boy, we're back. Hype is real. She sure got a set of lungs. Yes, she do. I'm just chilling on the porch, looking out on the fjords while hanging out with Tay and the gang. Oh, dicey guy. What a guy. She would be an opera singer that paints minis. Ah, dicey guy. One can only dream. All right, how was I doing on that checker pattern? Yeesh, what a mess. Luckily, that's what this next steps are for. Cleaning it all up. I still remember when I was growing up, hanging out at the game store. It was such a great environment, and just fostered creativity, and you can go and talk to the workers, and a lot of them were like really good at painting, so they would give you tips and tricks. There was a back then. And now sometimes I look at what I see on YouTube and I just get really overwhelmed. A lot of content creators today, they're just really over edited and what's the word I'm looking for? Inauthentic. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to come off as inauthentic to my crowd, to my people. I want everyone to always see me as very transparent with what I'm doing. Like, I want to be very clear with my audience. This is what I'm into and interested in. This is what I want to share with you guys, and hope that you can build your skills doing the same way that I did. Boot. Look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? Looks like it really looks like he's looking at you. Two little pinpricks. Who am I painting? Dark Angel, yep. Heresy era Dark Angels. We're reaching the end game, where it's just transfers. So yeah, hit that like button if you're enjoying, if you're having a good time, if you're hanging out, and if you're working on anything, let me know in the chat. And it's not too late to join the Gray Crusade. I'm going to try to do daily videos like I used to do. Every day, update the count. I'm actually going to update the count in my daily YouTube Shorts videos, so everybody can see exactly where we are. I think that's the way to do it. They look cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. They're going to look even better once they're based and have their transfers down. If you guys are interested, I linked in the video, I tagged actually, the product of the Mark 6 Space Marine. So if you want to build some up, if these look like something you'd want to build up, I think it goes through like walmart.com. So it'll take you there if you click on the link. And, you know, pick up some toilet paper and toothpaste while you're there. Whatever other shopping you have to do. Okay, what are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4 Legion symbols. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Legion symbols with white wings. So we might as well keep the party going with the white wings. Yeah, I thought it might be fun if we do like gold for one of them, but I'm not gonna rock the boat. We're not gonna change it up too much. Yeah, so as I talk about the Terminus Decree, it's an interesting piece of new lore written for the Grey Knights Codex that's been leaked online. It basically says that the Emperor has ordered, spoiler alert, has ordered the Grey Knights Grandmaster to keep this like super secret command unless it was time to use it. And it basically says that if the Emperor is ever removed from the throne, the Golden Throne, then it's the Grey Knight's sacred duty, sworn duty to return him, no matter how many Adeptus keys they have to go through. And I think that is wild, because I don't think the Grey Knights are up for it. It could just be that the Custodies have been so hyped and have gotten like the new models, and Grey Knights are still rocking the kits that they had back in 2010, the last time they did the refresh with the baby Bjorn. I just don't see how they're gonna do it, man. You got the Custodies, you got the Sisters of Silence. All right, that should be enough for now. Actually, let's do all four, why not? Okay, so I've got my cap here. I'm gonna just dampen all four of these. So there's just the 4 Dark Angels Legion symbols there. Then we'll take my brush. Yeah, so basically it's like the Emperor has given this command to the Grandmaster of the Grey Knights, and he said, just pass this down to the next Grandmaster and let him know that it's going to be your guys' sacred duty, your final job, because who knows what's going to happen if this ever happens, to put me back on the Golden Throne by any means necessary. Since he's a perpetual, the Emperor, if he dies, he's just going to be brought back to life, and then who knows what's going to happen then, since his life force is sustaining the Golden Throne. But everybody's like theory crafting now, and they're like, why would they write this? This is like, what reason could they have? And they're trying to pick it apart and figure it out. And I like the idea, or I don't know if I like it, but I think it's the most obvious reason why they would do this. And it's because they want to change some things. Just they wanted to be alive just long enough to pull off some kind of shenanigans and either rewrite, retcon, or bring into the current lore of the universe some changes that they couldn't do before. And I'm not going to speculate, because I'm just a dad painting plastic minis. But it's interesting when you listen to some of the YouTubers have their theories on why. Like, it seems to be really blowing up on Twitter and YouTube. Everybody that is really heavily invested in the lore is got all these like theories, and I'm just like, it seems to me like that it's a seed planted that they can reference that says like, it's very specific wording that they would have to fight through all these Adeptus Custodes to put him back on the Golden Throne and make sure he stays there. And yeah, I just think it's an interesting time to be in the hobby, because we could be looking at like a huge narrative shift. I don't think the universe is going to end, or it's going to be like the end of 40K, because Games Workshop would have no reason to turn off the money machine. Why would you do that? Yeah, like I said, I really think it's so that they can do some tomfoolery, some shenanigans. Wasn't the Grey Knights built long after the Emperor's enthronement? I don't know. I'm not sure. I just think there has to be a reason why it's there. Otherwise, like, why would it have never been? It's like completely brand new fiction in the lore of the universe, and it could be just something that they wrote up and thought, oh, isn't this funny? We'll throw this out there and let the commoners drive themselves crazy with conspiracy theories. But at the same time, it seems very particularly precisely worded. If the emperor is ever to leave the golden throne, that he must be returned to it by any means necessary. I just don't think they're up to it. It's like, have you seen the Adeptus Custodes? They look like Primaris Marines before we had Primaris Marines. All right. I love putting on transfers. It's just something about working with transfers that is, as an older hobbyist, I find very satisfying and rewarding, not having to hand paint all of these designs. I've linked in the description also Microsol and Microset, which I do need to get a new bottle of. I'm almost at the end of my Microset. But having this in my toolkit has immensely helped. It's allowed me to really indulge in my love of transfers, using them on my models. What time is it? 4:52. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning where I am. And I am excited. This is the end. I can snap pictures of these guys and put them up on eBay. Woo! The Custodes in Chaos Split. Yeah, I don't know. Do you like 3D printing? I would probably like it more if I could afford a 3D printer. I don't know. You know what? I'm not the right person to ask. Everybody says it's the best thing. It's saving them so much money. It really pays for itself. But I don't know if I could learn. It's kind of like airbrushing. Like you have to get the equipment. You have to have like at least a working knowledge of how to start using it, and then it's like all fun and games after that. But at this point, I mean, I don't know how much more I can invest into any aspect of this hobby. If only they were giving brand deals. It's like, yeah, I'd love to talk about your products. The more I think about it, the more heretical it sounds. Yep. At the moment here, okay, 3D printing is like a whole new hobby. Yeah, it is a whole new hobby. It's a whole new discipline and a different skill to learn. But it's funny, you see people who 3D print, or like you see people who got the who have the commercial rights to do it, so they open up whole shops and start selling all these miniatures on eBay and stuff. And it's like, I'm all about that side hustle income. And you basically are like making your own miniatures. You have your own manufacturing plant in your house. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion. I'm just a dude painting little dudes and other little dudes. No spoilers, but has anybody seen any like the Fantastic Four movie? Or even like I miss Thunderbolts in the theater too. Like I'm a dad, so you know I miss everything now. But I was talking to it with my wife the other day, and we used to love going to the movies for all the tentpole Marvel stuff. Like the last time we really were in a big movie theater before we had the kids was, I think, Endgame. And it was such an experience that I think since the end of the pandemic and everything, I don't know if it's been replicated in a theater, that sense of wonder. But yeah, if you guys want to listen to more crazy crackpot theory hammering, then look up on YouTube the Terminus Decree. It's fresh, it's trending, it's new lore dropping for the Grey Knights. I don't know anybody who collects Grey Knights. That's not true. I do know somebody in Hawaii that had like a whole Grey Knight army. And when the baby Bjorn came out, he was like the only one that had it like built up and painted, and everybody was like, "Oh, maybe I should start Grey Knights." You know what army I've never seen though? In all my years of like not in person, anyways. I've seen them online and stuff, but I've never seen anyone with an Ultramarines like 40K or 30K army. They were like, oh, they're the poster boys. They're the goody vanilla. They're the vanilla Marines, right? And they're in all of the starter sets, and they're like, everyone's like, I don't want to paint up the vanilla Marines. It's funny because the older I get, the more I'm like, I'll start an Ultramarines army. I'll start an Ultramarines army. What are your favorite non-Warhammer miniatures? I enjoy seeing the Fantastic Four skins. My main gaming opponent has Ultra Sparks. Oh, okay, cool, Links Lord. What is my favorite non-GW range? You know, because my client that has been booking me for these recent commissions has been telling me so much about it, I'm kind of interested in possibly cracking open my box for my starter box of A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures game. I got that starter set when it came out, boy, and those miniatures look so good, but it's just nobody played it in my area. So nobody wanted to go out and get them. But he's going to a tournament, and he actually asked if I could paint these up for him. So he commissioned me, because I am a commissioned painter, to paint up the 3 dragons of Daenerys Targaryen. So let's zoom out and get a little bit of a look at them. I don't know if there's much interest in it. That's why I don't know if I'm going to do a full-on painting tutorial for them. But like, look at the detail on them. They look really nice. He's the one that assembled them and primed them. So I actually am just getting them to work with. I think this is Drogon, because all of the painted examples I've seen of the box art and other people who've painted them have painted this as Drogon. So I might do, yeah, I might do that tonight. So if you guys want to see that, then just let me know in the chat. And then he wanted, I don't remember if it was this one or I think it's this guy. He wanted this one painted as Sunfire from the HBO show House of the Dragon. So I've been looking online to see how I can replicate that color scheme. And I've got some ideas. I think it's going to be an interesting experiment. Dragons for the wins. It's a great game. Oh, you don't assemble them. Very good. Dustin, hey, WarbossTae, I've been watching your videos since you first started uploading, since 2009. But oh, you were married with kids. Congratulations on the wife and kiddos. I'm a newer dad too. Right on, man. Yeah, we moved to California in 2014 from Hawaii. And then we got married in, I think, 2019. And then our son was born 2021. And then our twin girls were born just last year, 2024. So I am trying to take my hobby, my love of painting miniatures, and I'm trying to now make a living off of it, because I don't think there's anything more valuable than spending time with your family, especially your kids as they're coming up, as they're growing from babies into little people. It's funny because I used to love working at FedEx, and I used to love making money, and now it's like I still want to do that. I want to make money off of my passion, though, which is painting little miniatures. So it's become apparent to me that I really want to go of this YouTube thing, and that means just hustling as much as possible, showing off some cool miniatures, painting and doing live streams, and begging you all to become channel members and support me and support my dreams. But yeah, like they said, there's no substitute for time. So when my wife asked me for my birthday, because we just celebrated our birthdays, right? It was, our birthday month is July, and we just celebrated our birthdays and our wedding anniversary. And she was like, well, what do you want for your birthday? Do you want me to get you some miniatures or whatever? And I was like, you know what I really want, now that I'm trying to build up this Warhammer YouTube thing, it's like I want to I want something that nobody can get me, which is time. You can't buy it in a store. You can't buy time. You have to have it. You have to earn it. You have to be able to just find a way to make a living off of it. So if you support my dream, if you are a dad and you want to support another dad, then even if you can't afford to join my become a channel member and to join me there and support me there, if you are just watching me tonight and hanging out and writing, commenting in the chat, and thanks anyway, also Dustin for that comment, man. I really appreciate it. Then thank you for hitting the like button, sharing, and sharing the video, or just subscribing if you're not, writing some comments. Everything is everything has an effect on YouTube, you know? All right, speaking of effects, I'm diving in. I've kind of been like, what's the word? Intimidated with this painting project, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Sunfire. He looked like gold, but at the same time, he looked like a dusky yellow or a bone color. It's like, I don't know if I can do it. But you know what? I can do it. I can do anything. I'm WarbossTae. I got an awesome chat, and my whole dream is on the line here, so I'm gonna do it. If you want to paint Sunfire, the dragon from House Targaryen, then the first thing you're gonna need to do is a heavy application of Rakarth flesh. We're gonna build up our gold color. This reminds me of when I used to, do you guys remember the color Shining Gold in the old Citadel range? That color sucked. It was so, like, it would split and become like transparent the minute you put it on a miniature. It was so hard to work with. Then I found out that, oh, if you if you layer it on top of like a Mornfang brown or a Steel Legion drab, like some dark brown color, and you layer it up instead of just painting it on top of the model, then shining gold actually does look like a pretty decent gold color. We do not so. Isn't that Greyjoy's? That Greyjoy's? I was trying to remember like whose house model motto is whose. We got into the first season of House of Dragons, and we didn't really get anywhere because that first episode with the, oh boy, the very painful childbirth, and yeah, my wife was, she's like, I'm out. My lady boss tapped out, and she was like, I can't watch this. And you know, it's funny. I used to be a huge horror fan. I used to love watching horror movies. My wife, not so much, but she would watch them because I watched them when we were still dating. And now that we have kids, both of our preferences to horror movies is like gone. Like I can't even stomach any kind of, most kinds of like movies. I used to be such a big like into horror and body horror and spooky things and monsters and Cthulhu and all sorts of creepy things. And now I cannot do it. Oh, look at the chat. The chat's bumping. Let me go up. Someone who's been around for just as long as I. Wow. Working on some model designs for a game system. Me and some others are working on. Nice. What would be your suggestions to make the painting experience for these models enjoyable? I would have some reference pictures in mine and like handy. The painting experience, guys, is so simple once you break it down to, it's a process, right? Like unless you're like a hippy dippy artiste and you want to just go where the motivation and inspiration takes you, I would have a plan. So for these dragons, my idea was to get to the yellow color, I'm going to build up from a bone base coat. So I would find all the colors that I know I'm going to use. In this case, Rakarth Flesh, and then Rickland Flesh Shade for the wings. And what I would do is have those colors set aside in order. So Rakarth Flesh, Wraithbone, add in a little bit of white, and then get to the shades. Everything else off your desk into the tub of paint underneath you. Boop. Only take out what you need. Where's that Raglan Flesh Shade? See, when I talk about like my pile of shame or my pile of potential, I'm in a corner of my living room and I have most of my pile of shame right next to me. Since I work, oh, when do we hang that up? My son's artwork. Since I from home, I'm able to bring stuff up from the basement, but this is kind of an eyesore and I don't like having it here. So I'd rather just have everything I need right below me, and then everything else I'll move downstairs to the basement later on when I get some time. Just some dude dabbing in the dope hobby. Yep, Sons of the Kraken. Contrast and select bright spots, greens and reds and browns, yellow whites here and there. There's much worse things in that show than Birth. Yep. I know, I listen, because I can't watch it, I listen to podcasts about it. Look at all this sexy potential right here. Oh yeah, so much, so much potential. But because I'm working on a commission, everything I want to do has to kind of take a back seat for a little bit. Rayclan Flesh Shade? Yep, Rayclan Flesh Shade. So yeah, basically have whatever paints you know you're going to use. Everything else, take it off the table or set it aside so that it's not bothering you, and then that clears up a lot of your brain to only work on what you need to work on. Yeah, I've got like Deathcore of Krieg. I've got a bunch of Horus Heresy stuff. There's so much that I have ready to go. I just need to get going. All right, for the base, I'm gonna do some Mechanica Standard Gray just to give me something to work with. How are the miniatures to paint? Have you guys had much experience painting the Song of Ice and Fire minis? Because there was a time when they were releasing like almost as fast as Games Workshop was. They were doing like Night's Watch and all the different sets for the different factions. And I was like, whew, look at them go. Good. You should get more companies releasing miniatures and spread the love around. But the thing is, even though they're making all these miniatures and they look great, like these dragons, I don't know anybody who plays. At least, well, now I do, my client. But like nobody in my local area knew how to play the game very well past like the introduction set. They didn't have any armies. So it's good to see that other people have been seeing some success with the game. Salad is strong. Welcome back. We're painting dragons. If I can get through this one, this Sunfire, then maybe I'll see if I can tackle Night Lord from the kill team. That might be too ambitious, but we'll see. Aim for the moon. And even if you don't get there, you will find yourself among the stars. All right. It has a huge gaming scene in Europe. Okay, I didn't know that. Maybe I'm just not like looking in the right areas. I don't know. All right, I'm going to use Wraithbone next as a highlight. I think I'm going to need to make another cup of Danger coffee in a bit. The painting train don't stop. Guys, I can't believe I finished my freaking Dark Angels. Dude, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, fix that. How did you get that red? Is that real or is that just a flake? Yeah, I'm gonna have to paint over that. Off to the battle zones of eBay you go. Make me lots of money, okay, you guys? It's so fun. Guys, it's amazing. I never thought I'd be happy, like as happy as I am to be a father. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm really happy to be a dad. I tell my son all the time, because he wants to go back to Disneyland, so we're trying to plan a trip to Disneyland. And without oxygen. Aim for the moon, even if you not get there, you're up there in the stars. Yep. I think the point of that saying is like, even if you don't get there, at least you'll have took off, you know? You aim for the moon, you set your sights high. Don't just aim to shoot up into the clouds. Aim as far as you can go. Aim for the moon, aim for the farthest star. And even if you don't get there, you'll realize when you look around, holy cow, I'm not on Earth anymore. I am in the stars. I am way up high. So I'm going to be using this golden maple size 5 dry brush. It's already seen some action. It's just funny because you could tell the brushes that have seen some action from the brushes that are fresh and go. I don't have any vehicles right now or like terrain pieces I want to use this on, so it's just hanging out in my cup. And we're going to be, actually, you know what? Maybe we can dry brush. That might even be too big. We can use this smaller dry brush that comes in the master set. If you check out the link to the paintbrush set I have to Golden Maple, all of these size brushes are in there. And it's really great because I'm not usually one for dry brushing, but I've discovered that I really enjoy using these, like dry brushing as a technique. I've used it for like capes and cloaks and fur, of course, all sorts of stuff, but this is definitely a tool that I'm glad I have in my skill set now, in my toolbox. All right, I've massaged the bristles. I've knocked out any old paint. How's our dragon doing? He looks like he's dried off a bit, enough to go anyway. There's a little bit right here on his wing. Better get that before I hit it with the wash. These are really beautiful sculpts. Like the dragons all look different and none of them look generic. Like they all look like they're naturally propped up on some rocks. All right, we're at 12 people in the chat. The live stream is officially at 2 hours and 1 minute. So let's do what we can. Yep, fur capes and so on. I agree. And let's see what it looks like. I always say, don't be afraid. Open the paint pot, don't be afraid, just do it. Get your butt in the chair, and just start painting. Put a little bit more on my palette. All right, here we go. Ooh, got some gray from the base. That's okay. It's so cool. Like the sculpt of these look like bearded dragons. I have to ask Play It Painted what he thinks of these sculpts. He's into reptiles. And we'll add a little bit of Corax White to our Wraithbone now. be a little bit more sparing, but still get that color on. Yeah, the trick now is going to be getting that Sunfire gold color. I think on the wings I can get away with the Reikland Flesh Shade because it's like a kind of pinkish, reddish color for the wings. But it's the rest of this body. How am I going to translate that golden color without painting, you know, yellow? I should have waited till after the gray paint dried. All right, let's see what it looks like. If we add that Reikland Flesh Shade. It's got to be more pink though. Maybe I should get Berserker Blood Shade in here. I did, but now I'm trying to second guess myself. It's like an off reddish. Is it Bugman's Glow? No. I don't know. Maybe Carberg Crimson. Let's do Reikland Flesh Shade on the wings, and then we'll see. All right, while we wait for this to dry, I just want to remind you, if you're not already, to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you can always be alerted when I am live streaming or when I've got a new video out. All of that stuff would greatly help me achieve my dreams. Tricky to get the inside. It's a little harder to reach. Please tell me how to do stripes for the Horus Heresy Iron Warriors. Not Bew, new. I'm not sure, but I would assume it's pretty close to the old way of doing stripes. I've heard that masking tape works really well, but I'm just not. I'm not good at it. I've tried using masking tape before, and the paint bled underneath, and it didn't really do anything for me. So, if you can use it and you know how, and you research it and practice it, and it works for you, then that's great. Just has never done the trick for me. I'll show you what I would normally do though. So you take your Averland Sunset. Here, let's use this as a base model here. You take your Averland Sunset and you, like, if you talk about the shoulder pads, just paint the whole shoulder pad in yellow. Okay, Averland Sunset is a nice thick yellow color. Do 2 coats, and then you take your black paint, and starting from just like, if you look at it like a clock, 11 o'clock to maybe like 4 o'clock, you paint one stripe, and then the next stripe a little bit further down, and then you just go in a diagonal order. Hopefully they're all even. You take some more black paint and make the lines a little bit thicker and try to make them equidistant. Then you take your Averland Sunset and then you paint in the opposite areas, the negative areas, so that the stripes look more equidistant. The trick with this, and the hardest part, is always the first part where I start at 11 o'clock. Just draw a thin line to about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And then that line you thicken with black. Draw another line, thicken it with black, and then your brain has to go back and forth between the spacing of the yellow line and the black lines. This transfer came out pretty nice. I just draw the line and paint after. Yeah, you can use like a pen. Micron Arts make this really great pen that's 0.001, as small as you can get it, and get it in black. And it's really good for doing like script work or, yeah, like Iron Warriors stripes. Posca pen. My tummy's rumbling. So I really want to get that new Saturnine box and just paint the whole thing up as Night Lords. But then I'm like, no, I shouldn't do that. I want to get the whole thing up and do color schemes, painting videos for all of the original first founding legions with the Mark II guys, where I could do video like guides on doing stuff like hazard stripes and all sorts of other Space Marine specific stuff. I think it looks pretty good. So I've let the wings dry a little bit. Now I'm going to get onto the Karaberg Crimson. See how this reacts off of the Rakeland Flesh Shade on the wings. I'm a little afraid, and at the same time, nothing ventured. Here we go. Too red. Or you know what? It's not too red. It's like too purpley red. When you look at the artwork, this isn't it. But it's good practice. That's the thing. I never would have known that it wasn't it unless I tried it. It's all about stepping out of your comfort zone, guys. do the thing that you're worried about or apprehensive about. Just do it. Paint it. Get the paint on the model and then decide if it's terrible or not. I'm gonna keep experimenting because I don't think that was the right color. Always gotta watch out for those pooling washes. I think I'm gonna have to think on this one a little bit more, boys. But I'm pleased. I got base colors down at least, pretty much. Now I can build up the colors again. Thanks for painting me, WarbossTae. I gotta get his brothers. All right, to you 13 legends who are still in the chat, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Let's do a little parade. Last look at all of my dark angels here. It's funny because I painted them up just because they're black, and I had these guys primed in black already, so I thought, oh, I'll just paint them as blood angels because I didn't feel like painting Raven Guard or Iron Hands. And now that I'm done, it's like, maybe I'm gonna start a Dark Angels Horus Heresy army. Maybe if I get that Saturnine box, I'll make them all Dark Angels. I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day. And like I said, my dream, my goal is to make a living doing this on YouTube. So if you enjoyed it and you think you might know others that would enjoy similar content, I hope you reach out to them or just like the video, repost, comment, share on your other social media stuff. And thank you for helping me grow as a content creator. 2 hours and 16 minutes, hard to believe my baby didn't pull me away for like another 4 hours. So I'm gonna call it here before she does. Look at this work. Look at this work. I finished the Dark Angel squad with decals, with basing, ready to go to eBay. I couldn't have done it without all of you guys here. So I'm gonna take pictures of these guys, post them up on my Discord in the Grey Crusade channel. You okay, Duchess? My dog is hacking up hairballs here. Yes, I will look forward, Lynx Lord. And if you would like to support me even more, then you could join up as a channel member and help me to guide my content to even greater, loftier heights. Thanks, you guys. Shaka, shaka, that's Hawaiian for see you later. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great day and have a great day, night, wherever you are. We'll see you in the next video.